Welcome back, generals, to another Let's Fix Generals 0 hour to make the best game ever. Good, so we probably want to check what's new in the GitHub. Let's see. Let's see what is currently approved. A few things. What about this? Yeah. Is there no possibility that this changes retail behavior? Not all logic relies on the value of best objects. Command button best objects. Do command button add objects. Well, kind of implies that it wants some valid objects. Combat drop. Let me see, where do we call this guy? Okay, the target. The object or the target return. Okay, so here this one is guaranteed to be not null. This one is also guaranteed to be not null. Not null. So that's the only. Okay, so these three are checking for null. Okay, then we have this one left. Let's see that. There we have also many calls. Good, so this one checks null here. This one checks null here. This one checks null. This one checks null. No. I looked around and do team is the only function that can call into this guy. call into with null objects. I think we can even add an assert for objects not null in, and remove the one null check in there. If we find no mismatches, then I think we can even add in this with the fix. With the fix as is, we can even add an assert for object null and remove the one null check in there. There is a CSC mismatch somewhere with a specific condition, then we need to make a retail. Let's see, objects. So there's AI combat drop at a position. There is a special power at a position. There is a stop. That one doesn't require an object. Yeah, so the stop. And this one weirdly has a check here, so that would also bail if it was null. Here it would. Do command button add object. I wonder. Okay, let me add ongoing discussion here. Okay, can we merge this guy? Needs rebasing. Okay, how about we stash this guy? Then we go to video, unify video. Update submodules and checkouts. One moment. Okay, so okay. Okay. Good. Push that. And push that. Okay, that one also needs resolving, interestingly. Change contributing. So that would be core build. Okay, do we have any add compile comments left? Let's see. Add compile. Good. That works. Okay, I will make another fix-up commit for this guy. We need to go to contributing. 25. Okay, and then we have this guy. So if we take this change and we open an editor, let's say we have some, trailing spaces here. Oh, it removes it all on save. Ooh. Maybe we shouldn't do that. At least not yet. Okay, so the problem with this editor config is if we merge it now and then someone touches a file and he saves it, the editor will, if you respect the editor config file, will remove all the trailing white spaces in every line in that file that was saved. All right? So, and then that means it creates a white space diff where you don't want it to happen. So I think that means that we should probably first make a pass and remove all trailing white spaces in all files so that we have a clean, no trailing white spaces for starters. Oof. I noticed that the white space will remove not just white spaces in the lines, in the new lines written, but in all lines on document save. depending on the editor. So I think we would need to make a pass and remove all trailing white space first to not get into situation where new changes edit white spaces everywhere. In a file. Okay, can we force save all files somehow? Visual Studio Code force. Let's ask ChatGPT. That's much easier than a Google search or DuckDuckGo search. In Visual Studio Code, can we force save all files in all files to force apply the editor config settings to apply the new editor config settings. Simply saving files does not automatically reformat or relint them according to editor config. Unless the file is modified, you have extensions or settings that explicitly format on save. If you want to force apply settings to all files even without changing them manually, you have a few options. Option 1, use format document or format document with open a file. Well, I don't want to do that. Use the command palette, save all. Whitespace trimming. If you want to reapply those, open command palette, Control-Shift-P. Yeah, and then what? Run file save all, Control-KS. 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 What? Well, that didn't work. Only modified files will save. Nothing is dirty here. Fix file command. Use Prettier or other formatter with editor config support. Oof. It only reports violations. If you want to force or resave of all files, you can use a script to add and remove a new line from each file to mark it as dirty. That's stupid. Okay, so what is this prettier thing? Prettier config. Oof. Okay, how to get and use prettier? npm install. What? I don't have npm. How to use npm install on Windows. Node.js, Jesus Christ. Do I already have that? Node -v. Oh, I do. Okay. Okay, so I go here, I add prettier RC, I add this bullshit here. Okay. Then save def. What is this? Okay. Okay, so let's go. So let's say we navigate to this project here. I don't know if that's necessary. And when we type this guy here, npm install save def prettier. Notice. Error. Fantastic. Okay, let's see what happens. Jesus Christ. Well, this could be catastrophic. Okay, so it does touch a lot of things. That's interesting. Okay, so it doesn't recognize this thing here. Okay, let's revert all this garbage here. Okay, so we want to apply it to H files, to CPP files, and to ENL files. Yeah? Pretty formatting. Running prettier returns this warning. Prettier doesn't recognize editor config true. Likely you're placing it in the wrong config file format or location. C or JSON inside that, then editor config is not supported. Create a file named prettierrc.js. Okay. Okay, so let's remove this. And let's use this. Let's see. Error. The tour prettier returns errors on H and CPP files like so. That error means Prettier does not support C++ out of the box because it doesn't have a parser. What you can do, use Clang format, and it supports editor config. Yes. I would just like to apply the editor config, nothing else. The editor config to H and CPP files, nothing else. Editor config. It won't fix violation. Yeah, that's not helpful. Can we apply? Can we apply just editor config with Clang formats? No. Why not? Only uses its own configuration. Okay. Okay, then let me ask. I would just like to mimic these two settings in Clang formats. Unfortunately, it does not support. Ugh. Okay, how about we write a Python script then? How about we write a Python script? Okay. Oh man, I'm amazed that there's no tool that can do this simple thing. It's amazing. You would imagine that by now text editors are so good that they can just easily do this, but no, they can't. Oh boy. Okay, then let me remove all this garbage here again. We'll write a Python script, no problem. No problem. No problem. Okay. Remove. Let's say remove trailing white space. Okay. Okay, so what we need to do is okay, before we do this thing, let me merge the two changes that are ready here. Cancel. rebase and merge. Okay, then we can also merge this guy. This is also merge with rebase. Okay, good. Then we go to main branch. Okay, good. Then let me get all the remotes. Change contributing. Okay, so we have these guys, and then okay, then we need to apply. Remove trailing white space. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's copy this code here and put it in here, and then what kind of encoding did we use here? ASCII. Is that good enough? Okay, so what we need to do is lines, read lines. Okay. Okay, we simply modify a line. We say file write line. I think we need to if line let me put a breakpoint here. So file name plus test dot test. Okay, so a line always ends with the n. Yeah, okay. So I think what we can do is we say line equals line dot, there's a trim function now. Python trim trailing white space. Strip, but that also strips the beginning. We only want trailing strip. I think there is strip. Leading and trailing white space. I only want strip trailing. Strip trailing white space. There we go. R strip. Trailing white space. Only trailing white space. R strip. Okay, and do we then need to append this one? I think so. Do we do it like this? Let me see. So the line is that, and the line is now the same. Okay, let's try to find a line that has this problem. This one is a trailing white space. So here you see the mix space and then new line. So now the space should be removed now. And it is. Okay, that works. Fantastic. Okay, then we can do this. Yeah. So this is remove trailing white space. And then we also say if lines, how do we access the last one? -1? How do we access the last element in a array in Python? Python access last elements of list -1. So if line, let's say if not lines, if lines and lines -1 is let's say if lines and not last line, then file.write trailing new line. Okay, then let's make a test run and see if that works. Yeah. Let me see if this ever hits here. It does hit. Which file is it? jsupport.cpp. Oof. Okay, it's suspicious that this one is not hitting here. Okay, but oof. Okay, so this one has worked, but this one here doesn't work. Why not? If lines and not lines -1. If lines. If lines. Maybe we need to say if len this is not 0. Let's see. Aha. But there is a new line down here. No, that's not correct, is it? just say if lines, and then we say last line is this guy, yeah. And then we say if last line is, if last line, then if last line and last line, if last line -1 is not new line character, then we write a new line. To end of file. Okay, let's see if that works. Okay, that doesn't work. Why not? Lines, last line. Last line. Okay, it's a bit suspicious that this doesn't hit. Yeah, that's a bit suspicious. Okay, how about we revert all the changes we have here. Oof. Oh, it does actually hit now. Okay, that's good. Okay, let's test that. Okay, that affects quite a few files. Quite a few files. Okay, then let's add this here on top here. Okay, well, that affects quite a few files. Yeah. Okay, well, that's quite some big whitespace change. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't create too many merge conflicts with existing pending pull requests. But it's just touching one discipline, so it's probably manageable. Okay, how about we test if stuff still compiles? We compile all targets, debug, 0 hour, extras, tools. Okay, let's open a new branch. Refactor trailing whitespace. Rename. Oof. It touches 3,000 files. Oof. Oof. Okay, let's see if it compiles. There. I'm thinking if there's anything that could go wrong, but I can't think of anything. We are just removing trailing white space. Shouldn't break anything. I think it will be fine. Is there anything that can go wrong here? There could be if it would maybe if we would use the R strings from a C++11, but we don't use that, so that's not a danger. Yeah. The R strings, that could have legitimate trailing white spaces if it wants to print that somehow for some reason. I expect that the conflicts with most changes will probably be small because it's just affecting some lines where we remove trailing white spaces. So I think this is mostly a concern for moving files around. That will create conflicts. Otherwise, should be fine. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's add a commit. Maybe in the script we can put this here. Okay, so there will be a refactor. Format. Remove trailing white spaces from game code files. Remove trailing white space from game code files. No, it's quite a mess. Quite a massive refactor. Yeah. Oh boy. Okay, so did it succeed? Yeah. Okay, no errors. Oh, that's good. Okay, let's push it to what is this? Locked stack trace for unhandled Win32 exceptions. Okay. Okay, so how many lines does this affect? Oof. 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 This change removes all trailing white space from game code files. Additionally, it adds a trailing new line to all game codes files from all game code files. Okay, labels. Refactor. It was supplied with a script. Yeah, good luck. Good luck reviewing that. 3,800 lines. files and 80,000 lines. Okay, so I would say here this merge after this. Okay, I have prepared a change that removes trailing white spaces. White space. It's quite a massive change. Good. What's the time? 1 hour 30. I think we can take a break here. A short break, yeah. And then continue with probably do some reviews. Yeah. Probably do some reviews. Okay. Good. Then yeah, this is quite a massive change. Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. It's a good trial run. We will have to make more formatting changes. We have to fix the leading tabs and probably delete some of the like extra new lines, unnecessary duplicate new lines. Things like this you can clean up just to make the white space a bit more sane. Yeah. Yeah. Good. All right. Then I will take a break here. Yeah, take a break here. Wish you a great day or night. Until next time. Goodbye.